Sorry about that, the camera cut off. Yeah, so getting back to consent, it's just basically a conscience decision. It's something that has to be done consciously. Anything otherwise doesn't amount to consent. Um, so if we go back to looking at statute, the statute can only be given the force of law if it's consented to. But if one has been bullied or harassed into giving up consent, then it will not count as consent has to be a choice of the individual through peaceful means. And the catch here is the contracts that were made at the beginning, which is your birth certificate, national insurance number, and any subcontracts behind it. Because we signed into the society, we have that duty to perform and to abide by the rules of the society, given that we signed into it. This is true. However, new rules that are created within a society always applies to those who hold birth certificates and national insurance numbers, but only if the subject has consented to be governed by the new rule statute, which is a statute. According to the definition of statute, it is said that all statutes need to be consented before they can be enforced. So now we get back to this whole myth: do the police buy our consent? And the answer is yes. Now, if we don't give away our consent, then the police have no authority or jurisdiction over us. They cannot act upon us. If we've not conveyed them any kind of interest in our property, which is us, ourselves, then they have no jurisdiction or authority over us. So it's always important to know that. The only problem is giving away consent can be easy, and it can happen by a simple nod of the head or silence of the voice. Let's take a look at this a bit more. If someone says that you've just stole £100 and that rumours now going on, you've just stole £100 from, I don't know, Joe Blogs. If you don't say anything about the rumour as you've heard it, then it may be taken that you are guilty and you did steal the £100 from Joe Blogs because you did not refuse or rebut the claims. The same thing applies when it comes to consent. If you are asked something or made an offer and you are silent in regards to the offer or claim, then it can be taken that you don't mind or that you accept everything that's to come or what had already came. Why do you think courts always why do you think when you get your summons letter and you don't reply, the court, or even if you don't go to the court still gives judgment in your place or in your name? It's because you did not rebut or you did not challenge any claims or any summons to begin with in the first place. So now the courts have full jurisdiction over you through their contract. So that's one of the reasons why the judges and courts always maintain that power over you. So let's just put this scenario in a different way. Now just say you were the victim in this scenario and you didn't steal the £100 and you heard rumours that you had, but at the same time you've been having threats from other people, and those threats were for you to accept the claims or not say anything regarding the claims. This now would be bullying and would amount to what they call duress. So this would amount to bullying and would amount to duress being used on the victim in order to gain consent through his or her silence. So in the court of rule, this would not suffice as to being a valid consensual claim, or because of the bullying and the duress. Just like any contract signed under duress is not a valid contract, and you can actually come out of that contract because you signed it under duress, which means you signed it because you were forced to and you was bullied into signing it. A good way to cleverly diffuse any situation and to stop it from arising or from escalating is to basically conditionally accept claims. So in the £100 situation, I would say, I accept you say that I stole £100 on the condition that you can prove it. Or I accept your claim if you can prove it. As simple as that, because now we're not making any arguments or making any bold statements or making claims ourselves. We're accepting their claim upon the condition that they can prove it. So now this way it leaves the burden on proof upon the accuser. So it's quite effective this way as well. And we have to understand everything is contracts. Everything within the United Kingdom works under contracts. So just a quick conclusion and breakdown. There's a difference in what applies to us as real living beings created by God, which is the natural law and the common law and the law of the land, and compared to what applies to us as fictional paper persons, which is rules, regulations, statutes, legislation, man-made rules, policies. And to understand this, we need to understand who we are and our roles. So at the beginning we spoke of society and what it is. So now we can safely say now that the United Kingdom Ltd is a registered company that operates on the land. We can also safely say that those who have national insurance numbers and birth certificates are members of the society or the company, or to say company. We could say that this company known as the United K then formed a society within it in order to maintain the company and keep it running, just to make things easier for understanding purposes. So as members of a company, we have a duty to perform for its managers, being the directors, being Parliament and its members. If we don't like how this company operates, then we do have a choice to leave. Once we do that, we enter into a different jurisdiction called common law, in which it embeds the laws of God, our Creator, whether we believe in God or not. And this is the thing, whether we believe in God or not, the English law system accepts that we do have a Creator, and that the Creator left behind for us rules which became inherited in the Bible, which became the sacred law for man to live by, in which the common law system was based around. Even natural law is not all based from the Bible, but a lot of it stems from the Bible, because it's all God's creation. So if you was to break this down quickly, it would be, in the beginning God created man. God also created the earth so we could inherit it. After creating us and the earth and dwelling on it, God left behind rules, which is terms and conditions, to live by as a result to being created and living upon his creation. Those rules became the Bible, which is the Ten Commandments, in which became inherited in the law system for mankind to abide by, which then became common law, which was narrowed down into three things. So in essence, we could live upon the earth as real living beings, peacefully and without disturbance, as long as we didn't breach the Ten Commandments, which again, I said, became three elements in common law, which was harm, injury or loss. But the laws bestowed upon us from our Creator could not be removed or added or manipulated. So in order to add new rules and laws, because the world was evolving into a different place, there had to be another system, and this system had to take our image away from God's creation so that they were not harming what God had left for us. And that's where this whole system came in, companies came in, birth certificate came in, artificial entities came in. Because now you're an artificial entity created by man, and you associate your real spiritual energy within that. So now man can control you through that capacity. So, in essence, that's the whole reason why police act upon its citizens and upon its members of society, because its policies give them that duty to do so. But it's also up to us to understand who we are and our rights, and we need to learn how to exercise them. So if we understand now that there's two of us, we have an invisible brother and sister, which is the birth certificate, and that's controlled, that's tied to the society called United Kingdom, and it's controlled by the United Kingdom, then we have a choice whether to use it or whether not to use it. Now if you want to understand this on a visual concept, then you need to watch The Matrix, because The Matrix broke it all down perfectly.